Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Richard Nixon Presidential Library and Museum. I'm Sandy Quinn. I'm president of the Richard Nixon Foundation, and I'm delighted that you're here today. We've got a lot of treats for you, including one of America's biggest known performers, most awarded, most popular, Tony Orlando, who I'm going to bring out in a minute. But we also have the local Boy Scouts selling hot dogs, chili dogs, and other treats outside. So after you enjoy Tony, I hope you'll come out. Tony's going to go out and have a hot dog as well. And we have Sansi, the Orange County Sheriff's famous bloodhound, who will be wandering around. He may be in here now. Sansi, are you? I guess not. But he's kind of a character. He's kind of well known around Orange County. So we also have a concert by the Placentia Symphonic Concert Band, which is a great group, and they're in here later this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And the Orange County Fire Authority is outside doing all kinds of demonstrations with their great equipment. So there's plenty to do, including a visit, which I hope you'll do after this performance, before you have a hot dog with us. The Vietnam POW All-American Homecoming display exhibit that we have up all summer. Now, I think a lot of you probably know that on May 23rd and 24th, we hosted the Nixon Foundation, the 40th anniversary of the POWs coming home from those experiences in Vietnam. We had more than 200 POWs here for 2.5 days, and Tony Orlando performed there. We had a formal dinner here in the East Room, and by the way, this is an exact replica of the one in the White House. And on May 24th, 1973, President and Mrs. Nixon invited all of the POWs and their spouses to the White House and to celebrate their homecoming, which had occurred in February and March, and they came home, they reacquainted themselves with their families and their hometowns and so on, and then the Nixons wanted to celebrate their great sacrifice and courage and their homecoming, so they invited them to the East Room. And we, 40 years later, wanted to duplicate that, which we did. All of them dressed up in black tie. The ladies were beautifully outfitted as well. And we had the chorus that sang in the Hanoi Hilton, unbeknownst to the guards, with a song written by Colonel Collins, and we played it on big video screens, showing them what had happened 40 years ago at the White House. And then afterwards, that chorus rose in the audience and came up and sang it. There wasn't a dry eye in the East Room. Now, all this is my way of introducing to you 3 of these great American heroes. So I want you to welcome them appropriately. And I'm going to start with Naval Captain Jack Inch, who flew over 285 combat missions in Vietnam. He was shot down on August of 1972 and immediately checked in by his hosts at the Hanoi Hilton. A distinguished Navy career indeed. He was retired as commander of the Naval Training Center in San Diego. Please welcome Navy Captain Jack Inch. Lieutenant Brian Ward, United States Air Force. He was shot down by a MiG-21 air-to-air missile He was captured December 27th, 1972. During that ejection from his plane, he had separated elbows, a fractured shoulder, fractured lower back. He was held at the Hanoi Hilton and the Zoo, another famous hospitality center of the North Vietnamese. And he was the next to the last released from the Hanoi Hilton, Lieutenant Brian Ward. Now, if I can find my card, it's here somewhere. Can you hold that just a minute? See, this is the problem of not having a podium. I always say I want a podium because I can't keep track of all this stuff. But here it is. Thank you. Maybe you'd like to read the card. I should retire. I don't usually mess it up like that. I mess it up more. I forget the cards. I leave them on my desk. Now, Captain Charlie Plum, graduate of the Naval Academy, a Top Gun in flight school, on 75 missions, 5 days before the end of his tour of duty, he shot down over Hanoi in 1967. He was imprisoned, tortured, and spent 2,103 days as a POW, over 5 years. Think of that. Captain Charlie Plum. Great American heroes all. Thank you. Thank you. And as I said, May 24th when we had that dinner, and at the conclusion I said, I'm never going to complain about bad service in a restaurant. I'm never going to complain about a bad movie or a bad book or having to wait in line at the post office. When I think of what these fellows went through, think about our lives and think of what they went through. True American heroes. Thank you. The next man is a true American hero too, because he's one of America's best known performers. Hit after hit, gold record after gold record. One of them he's bringing to us today. When we had the POW reunion here and Tony Orlando found out about it, he said, I'm an honorary POW, which indeed he is. He said, I'm coming, I want to thank these fellows and I want to perform for them. And indeed he did. We did it out in the amphitheater there with all of the families on the afternoon of May 23rd. He sang his famous number, and then he went out during a barbecue and entertained them and spoke to them and told them what he felt, heartfelt, about their service. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Orlando.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Well, let me start off by thanking Sandy for that introduction and for allowing me to be here on a great day for America. How about we give the Declaration of Independence a hand, huh? Happy July 4th, everybody. Just think, later you'll have hot dogs and you'll all be drunk. Is everybody happy today? How many of you have been in this room? Raise your hand. The whole, you've all slept here, huh? Well, I had the great opportunity of being able to perform in the East Room at the White House 7 times. And in those 7 times, the first time I walked into this building and saw the East Room here, it's identical. It's the strangest feeling in the world to be here and not be in the White House, because this is exactly how it feels. But the only difference today is I'm not as nervous, because I don't have Henry Kissinger staring at me. I actually had Henry Kissinger come up on stage and sing with me. Then President Ford, Sandy, said to me, Tony, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to ask Henry Kissinger to come up and sing like you do on stage with these guys. I said, Mr. President, my family still needs a green card. He said, listen, just remember one thing. I am the president. I said, I got you. So now what do you want me to do? He said, I also want you, when you introduce him, I want you to call him Hank. In that long pause, he looked at me and went, remember, I am the president. So I walk on stage, and there's Kissinger sitting right where you are, Jack. And I'm up on stage, and I look down, and I go, yo, Hank. And Hank does one of these. You, come here. He goes, and this is what I hear him say. Don't make me sing, Tony, please don't make me sing. I don't want to sing. Whatever you do, I don't want to sing. Please don't make me sing. I don't want to sing a song. Please don't make me sing. I said, all I want you to do is when I sing, he's got the whole world, you sing in his hands. In his hands. In his hands. Got it? In his hands. I look at the president. He goes to me. I am the president. Okay. So I go. I got the whole world. He goes, in his hands. I got the whole wide world. He goes, in his hands. I got the whole world in his hands. I got the whole world in his hands. He leaves the stage, and I thought to myself, I'm in trouble. So I meet the president back in the Blue Room. And there he is with Henry Kissinger. And the president says to me, whatever made you embarrass this man like that? Got me good, boy. President Nixon brought 580 plus men, bravest men I ever met in my life, home in 1973. They changed my life. I was telling them backstage, I was 4F. I went through, you guys that would go through the draft, you went through the phase where you have to go to every doctor where they look under your arm and your ear and every place else, you know what I'm talking about? Well, the guy that looked in my ear said, you have a narrow auditory canal, Tony, you're 4F, you can't serve. You won't be able to hear a command. I said, I'm a musician. He says, too bad. But you're not serving. And I went home. I was embarrassed, I was shamed. All of my relatives all served, including my mother's father, served in World War I as a paratrooper. And I thought, I'm the only guy in the family that's not going to serve? But God has a different plan for us sometimes that we're not even aware of. And the plan he had for me was this little song. That was to be the service to my country. And little did I know. A song written by Irwin Levine and L. Russell Brown. Little did I know that when I walked on stage in 1973 at a Bob Hope show to welcome you guys home, I never thought, Bob Hope did. Bob looked at me and said, you're going to be singing this song for the rest of your life, buddy. That opening line, I'm coming home, I've done my time, is every soldier's mother's prayer. And these boys have come home. And there's 70,000 people welcoming them. And I said, Mr. Hope, this song is number 80 with a bullet. No one even knows this song yet. He goes, they will. I'm having it played 14 times a day in Dallas. When I get to Dallas, the song is number 1. I am not lying. The rest of the country never heard of the song yet. 70,000 Texans are in the stadium, Sandy, and they all start singing Yellow Ribbon. And you guys sitting on the 50-yard line start singing Yellow Ribbon, the chorus, best you could. Their eyes hadn't even adjusted to daylight yet. And I remember looking over at Mr. Hope. I looked at him and he went. I start singing this song. These boys are dazed. They said backstage it was surreal. 70,000 people. They were tortured all those 22,450 years in that prison that you spent. At least it felt like 200,000 years. And here you are on Independence Day in the East Room of the Presidential Library of the man who brought you home. And we have the honor to continue on to be here with you. Wow. So before I sing it, and I'm not talking about Donkashane, but before I sing it, you guys were sitting out there and you're clapping your hands. Tie a yellow ribbon. And they're singing, the people are singing. And there was one guy sitting amongst you. And he wasn't clapping his hands and he wasn't doing much. And I thought, you know, when you're a performer and you get a standing ovation, if one guy sits down, you worry about that one guy. I walk over and I said, sir, one of the POWs, I noticed, did I offend you in any way? You weren't clapping your hands, you weren't singing along? And there was Stephen Long. And Steve said, Tony, I'm so sorry. He said, my shoulders, they pulled my shoulders out of socket. I couldn't clap my hands, but what you didn't see is my big toe keeping time in my shoe. How many of you remember Tie a Yellow Ribbon? Thank you, God, they're old enough to remember. Okay, so we, on this 4th of July, we're going to celebrate today. We're going to celebrate these men. We're going to celebrate our country, which means you're going to sing this with me. So clear your throats. No, come on, clear your throats. Okay, hit it, George. Hands together. Come on, come on, come on. You know this one. Let's do it. Right, Sam? I'm coming home, I've done my time. I've got to know where these and isn't mine. If you receive my letter telling you I'd soon be free, well, then you'll know just what to do if you still want me. Yeah, you still want me. Let's do it. Come on, come on. Whoa, tie a yellow ribbon around the old. Yes, it's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? And if I don't see that ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus. You put the blame on me if I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old tree. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Bus driver, please look for me. I couldn't bear to see what I might see. You know I'm really still in prison, and my love, she holds the key to that. Come on, Plem, you know it, ribbon. What they need to set me free. You ready? I rode, and you better know the words to this, Plum. Come on, buddy, come on. Whoa, tie a yellow ribbon around the old tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? And if I don't see that ribbon round the old tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old, I'm coming home, I'm coming home, I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Now the whole East Room at this library is cheering, 'cause they can't believe what they see. 100 ribbons round the old tree. I'm coming home, I'm coming home, I am coming home. Thank God we tied those ribbons, such beautiful ribbons. Oh yeah, just like that. We're gonna tie those yellow ribbons around the old tree. Ha ha! That's for you again 40 years later. So Sandy, the last time I was here, you've been so kind to me to allow me to be part of this and invite me back. Because I said to Sandy, Sandy, look, if it wasn't for that song, I would have never met these men. If it wasn't for meeting these men, my life would have never been changed. Since I've met them, I've dedicated my life to military services. In my own way, I've raised millions of dollars because of that song, for whether it be an IBOT chair for a returning vet from Iraq, Afghanistan, or Vietnam, or whether it be a van in some small town in Sheboygan to get them to the hospital. That song has allowed me to be a fundraiser for a lot of great stuff. And because it's changed my life, I said to Sandy, Sandy, I don't mean to be presumptuous or bold in any way, but that gold record that's been on my wall is like my Mona Lisa. And I want to take it down, and I would like to give it to the library. Use it as you see fit. Sandy said, I'll put it with the POW exhibit this for the summer here. I said, well, and we got to give President Nixon a shout out, a big time shout out on this day. It's time that the public thanks him for ending the war. It was a difficult war to end. It was a controversial thing to do. It was done. Not only was it done after we went to the moon under his presidency, but they brought home these guys. And they brought them home with the kind of love and respect that the Vietnam vet in general did not receive. Whenever you see a Vietnam vet today, just use 2 words for them, okay? Welcome home. They didn't get that. And when you go to an airport today and you see our current young men and women returning from Iraq, Afghanistan, take a notice. The first 4 or 5 guys you see at the gate welcoming them home are Vietnam vets, because they want to make sure that what happened to them never happens again to anybody ever serving this country for any reason. I love you. So, if I may, Sandy has asked to do this, and I'm honored to do it, and in a typical way that he has been used to with the president, in a very presidential manner, he's being kind enough to allow me to present this to you guys. And Sandy, I'm going to let you do the honors on this one.
All right, well, let me see. There we go. This is, as you all know, the most coveted award in the music industry. And to give this symbolic of what it is for the POWs and the recognition of President and Mrs. Nixon, I can't tell you, Tony, how honored we are and the Nixon family is to accept it, because I know it probably has enjoyed a very nice position over one of your 17 fireplaces at home.
40 years.
40 years, and to give it to us. And I promised him, we hugged over it downstairs earlier, and he was telling me how honored he was to present it to the Nixons and their library, and I reciprocated with the honor indeed is ours as recipients, and I promised that we would display it, which we're going to do. And Mike Dugan, where is Mike? He is the acting director of the Presidential Library here, and he is going to take it and put it in the exhibit, and you can enjoy it after the performance. But Charlie's going to kind of accept it on our behalf, and we'll take some photos, and if you, oh, we're already doing it, good. Good. And I'm going to ask POW Plum to make some comments to accept. Thank you.
I married my high school sweetheart the day after I graduated from the Naval Academy under the Arch of Swords. My buddies were out there with their swords. And it was the beginning of a wonderful marriage. I left. We went through flight training for 2 years, and I learned to fly jet fighters. Left Pier 3 at the Naval Station in San Diego. Waved goodbye. I remember standing on the deck of that aircraft carrier and looking down and picking her out of the crowd and waving goodbye to her and telling her that I would be back in 8 months. As Sandy told you, it was 5 days before the end of my tour in Vietnam. It was shot down. Put in that prison camp for the next nearly 6 years. I thought about that lady a lot. In fact, I planned the next 20 years around my wife. Day one would be the day I was set free, and for 20 years I had every birthday, I had every ornament on every tree for 20 years. I had meals. I'd figured out 3 meals a day for 20 years. What a menu. I had greasy cheeseburgers and French fries. I had no rice. But we all thought a lot about coming home and after we'd done our time and what would happen when we came home. And in fact, I wondered about that very day, the day we were told we were going home, and how would we react? Bunch of old, crotchety old guys, you know, after all that time, skinny and depressed. Would we cry? When we found out we were going home, would we cheer? Would we hug and kiss everybody else? Well, the day finally came, and we traded prisoners, and we got on a big Air Force C-141, and even after I'd seen the airplane, star on the side, flag on the tail, nobody cried, nobody cheered, nobody hugged and kissed anyone else. In fact, it wasn't until we climbed aboard that airplane, Tony, ran down the runway, it wasn't really till we lifted off enemy soil, we all broke loose and started hugging and kissing the Air Force nurses. So 90 minutes later, I was putting these feet on free soil, Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. Ran down the ladder and across that tarmac to the first telephone I could find to call. She had gone. She didn't have a yellow ribbon around her oak tree. I called my mom, and Mom said, I'd give 10 years of my life if I didn't have to tell you this, but your wife hung on for 5 years, then just 3 months ago she filed for divorce. I came back to the Naval Hospital near Chicago and started this rehabilitation process. Of course, I was distraught, you know, having lost my wife. And yet, what allowed me, and the rest of us as well, Incidentally, Jack's wife had a yellow ribbon around his. Kathy, stand up, please. Let's give, these ladies had it tough. They had it tougher than we did. The families back here, do you guys agree with that? They had it tougher than we did. So for the next couple of weeks, I found the rehabilitation process of our coming home was in the wonderful outpouring of love that we got from Richard and Pat Nixon and the dinner that we had at the White House. And at that dinner, we had Bob Hope, we had Sammy Davis Jr., John Wayne was there. Irving Berlin, who wrote God Bless America, he led us in that song, God Bless America. And we found that the healing process was a very thankful country and a balladeer that sang a simple song. And we found that it wasn't just one yellow ribbon, it was hundreds of thousands of yellow ribbons around oak trees all over this country. So I don't think you have to carry a gun to be a patriot or fly an airplane. And thank you for this golden record, Tony Orlando. We salute you. Thank you, sir.
How about that? You know, my mother just passed away February 27th. I know, because I believe there's a hereafter. And I know for sure that my mom is as proud as any mother could ever be right now, thanks to you and you. And you. Coming from you, can we talk? The fireworks don't start yet, right? I want to follow up on a story that Charlie just told. Talked about cheeseburgers, right? So at the end of the show that we did with Hope in Dallas, I met a few of the guys. I couldn't take all 500 of you. But 8 or 9 of the guys I invited to come to New York. And they came. And I had them staying at the Americana Hotel in New York City. It reminded me of a food story. I've told you this one before. And that buddy of mine, Stephen Long, I told you, he's up in the room, and I said, Steve, let me ask you a question. You were in Laos for a long time, 4 years, I think it was, all told, captivity, and then you were in Hanoi Hilton. If you could think of one thing to order from room service, what would it be? And without taking a beat, he went, pancakes. I said, pancakes with maple syrup. Well, why don't you just order the pancakes right now with the maple syrup? Order as many as you want. Up comes the pancakes, maple syrup. There's Stephen Long. Grabs the fork, I'll never forget this moment, and knife. Everybody cuts pancakes differently. You ever notice that? Some make pie-shaped. Some just tear it apart. He was very particular. It was almost like he was cutting a New York sirloin or filet mignon. He kind of looked at it. He stared at it. Took the maple syrup and he poured it on the pancakes. He picked up his head. It's so good. He starts to cry. I said, you know what I just realized? There's an actual positive coming out of the Hanoi Hilton. He looked at me. There is? I will never taste a pancake like you just tasted a pancake. I will never know what it is to smell a rose like you smell a rose. I will never know what it is to eat a Big Mac. And by the way you fit in your uniform, you have not been eating any Big Macs. Wow. I'm trying to lose 10 pounds and he's already there. So, on this 4th of July, post-war experiences is what we should take care of our people. We can't do much for them on the battlefield. They take care of it themselves. But we're brothers and sisters in this country. It's not a blue state and a red state. It's not a Republican and a Democrat. We're Americans. We're brothers and sisters. We have to take care of those who go to war for us and put their life on the line. This particular group that's over there, it's the first volunteer army since the Civil War. They weren't drafted. They wanted to be there. Find them a job, give them the love. That's what we're going to walk out of here with today, is to remember that if we don't take care of them, then we're POWs, morally POWs, and we deserve to be tortured of embarrassment and shame. So we take care of our own, and you tell your children's children that a vet is not just some old gray-haired guy carrying a flag in a parade. That guy put his life on the line for us, so they can respect what the word veteran means. It's not just a holiday, or a hamburger, or a pancake. Deal? So, I got 5 gold records. And I figured I gave one away, I should do the others, no? So the very first hit record I ever had with Thelma and Joyce, we called ourselves Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. When I was in Iraq, it reminds me, these young kids remind me, when I was in Iraq, I'm on stage and the soldier average age was 20. And I'm standing on stage and I'll never forget, there was a look in one guy that I will never forget to this day. And he looked up at me and I could read his lips. He turned to his buddy and went, "Geraldo?" Had no idea who I was. It's the truth. I even saw one soldier go, "Hey, Mom, will you Google Tony Orlando for me?" Oh, my God. So it started with me and 2 beautiful young ladies from Detroit we used to call Dawn. Thelma Hopkins, Joyce Vincent Wilson, who were on that record and should be here. Thelma's making a movie, as usual. She's done great. And Joyce is doing her on the road. She works for her, she's a very strong Christian and does a lot of gospel tours with her sister Pam. I wish them a happy 4th of July. We're like brothers and sisters. We're still friends, very close. So in their remembrance, we started out with a song called Candida. Do you remember that? And then we followed that up with a song called Knock 3 Times. Do you remember that? Well, let's do them both. Come on, hit it, Georgie. Come on. Give me the track. Okay. Come on, hands together. Turn up the song. Turn it up. Turn it up. The stars won't come out if they know that you're about, 'cause they couldn't match the glow of your eyes. Oh, who am I? Just an ordinary guy. You know I'm trying hard just to win me my first prize. Come on, you know it. Oh, my Candida, we could make it together. The further from here, girl, the better. Where the air is always fresh and sweet. Oh, my Candida, just take my hand and I'll lead you. And I promise life will be sweeter, 'cause it says so in my dream. You know that the future is bright. Oh, the gypsy told me so last night. Said she saw children playing in the sunshine. Girl, and there was you and I in a house, baby, no lie. All of these things, they were yours, they were mine. And all my candida, we could make it together. The further from here, girl, the better. Well, the air is always fresh and sweet. Oh, my candida, just take my hand and I'll lead you. And I promise life will be sweeter, 'cause it says so in my dream. This side of the audience, not 3 times with the hands. Twice in the pipe, in the middle, whatever. Hey girl, what you doing down there? You're dancing alone every night while I live right above you. I can hear the music playing, I can see your body swaying. You're one floor below me, you don't even know me. I love you. 3 times. Oh my darling, on the ceiling if you want me. Twice on the pipe over here. Come on. Twice on the pipe. You were in jail. You don't know this song. You weren't even listening to the radio. 3 times. It was a #1 record. I swear it was. Trust me. Come on, come on. Twice on the pipe means you ain't gonna show. Oh, Charlie's sitting here going, I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Come on, hands together. Come on, come on. Let's get it. Oh yeah, you know I can hear the music playing, and I can see your body swaying. You are one floor below me, you don't even know me. I love you. 3 times. Oh my darling, on the ceiling if you want me. Just twice, everybody now, come on. Twice on the pipe, if the answer is a no. Oh my sweetness, means you'll meet me in the hallway. Last time out, come on now. Twice on the pipe, means you ain't gonna show. Lord, no. I just 1, 2, 3, yes. You're really a beautiful audience, and that's the truth. Thank you. You remember that? So, 1977 was the last time I had a #1 record. Better to have one that year than none to remember at all, right? It was originally recorded by a guy named Jerry Butler in the early 60s, and I recorded it with the girls again in 1975. If you remember it, do it with me. It was called He Don't Love You Like I Love You. Right order, George? Was that right? Then push the button and hit the track, buddy. That's the cheapest band we could buy, is that track right there. Go ahead. Yes, right. Remember it? Like I love you. If he did, he wouldn't break your heart. He don't love you like I love you. He's trying to tear us apart. Well, all right, very well, I know you'll leave for the new love you say you're gone and found. Oh, this handsome guy you tell me that you have been dating, I got a feeling he's gonna put you down. 'Cause he don't love you like I love you. If he did, he wouldn't break one of those guys that uses all those fancy quotations. He says all the things, oh, I wish I knew how to say. Oh, but he's had so many rehearsals. To him, it's just another play. But wait, cause when the final act is all over and done with, and you're left standing there by yourself alone, you know, when that man takes his final bows and he makes his final exit, I'm gonna be there just to walk you right on home. He don't love, and he never will, no. He never will, he never will. If he did, he'd never break your heart. I know that he don't care. He don't care about you like I love you. He's trying to tear us apart. Oh, yes, he is, yes, he is, yes, he is. You remember that? So, 1874, I recorded this next one. It's called Say, Has Anybody Here Seen My Sweet Gypsy Rose? You still were in that place, you know. It was, here we go. We were very happy. Well, at least I thought we were. Oh, can somebody tell me what got into her? She had a house, a home, and a family, and a man that loved her so. Who believed she'd leave us to join our burlesque? Thank God she's still remembered, my sweet gypsy Rose. Come on. Here's a picture when she was my sweet Mary Jo. She's got rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Say, has anybody seen my sweet gypsy Rose? Well, I got wind my Joe's been dancing here in New Orleans in a Smokeville honky-tonk they call the land of dreams. Oh, here she comes a-strutting in her birthday clothes. Say, has anybody seen my sweet gypsy Rose? Well, baby, baby, won't you come home? We all miss you. Every night we kiss your picture. I said, now, Rose, one night the lights go dim and then the crowd goes home. That's the day you wake up and you find you're all alone. Let's say goodbye to Gypsy. Hello, Mary Jo. Say, has anybody seen my sweet Gypsy Rose? Hands over the top of your head. Okay, ladies. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Kick, 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 kick. Oh, you gotta give them a hand. Take those rings off your fingers and bells off your toes. Say, has anybody seen my, now you know just what I mean by, has anybody seen my gypsy Rose? Say, has anybody seen my Rose? Here's a picture when she was my sweet Mary Jo. Has anybody seen my sweet gypsy Rose? Oh, here's a picture when she was my sweet Mary Jo. Take those, check out him, check out Jack. Look at Jack go, go Jack. Say, has anybody seen my, now you know just what I mean by, has anybody seen my gypsy Rose? Look at them go. How about a hand for them? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ladies, take your bow, take a bow. Take them. Has anybody seen my rose? Who put the ribbons? Who put the ribbons? Sweet Mary, so take those rings off your fingers and say, has anybody seen mine? Now you know just what I mean by, has anybody seen my gypsy rose? That's it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You. Wait a minute, Kath, hang on a minute. You two who put the ribbons up there, come here. Come here. Come here. Who put the ribbons on the front of the library?
I did.
Come here. When I got out of the car, I couldn't believe that you took the time to put those ribbons up there. Before we leave, can we take a picture together out there?
Oh, you can.
With us? Okay, now you stand over here.
Okay.
On this side. Can I have the photographer here for a second, please? An idea had just hit me. Now, would you put your arm out like that, and you put your arm out like that?
You go like this?
No, like that. Tony Orlando and Dusk. Right? It's the 4th of July. Let's give America a big hand. Let's do a hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Neil Diamond wrote a hip hip hooray song. We're going to do it right now. Go ahead. Hit it, George. Okay. George, thank you. No, seriously, I wasn't expecting to do that. Bring that volume down. I'll share the story with the folks. George selected a song, and I didn't expect him to do it. Okay, George, you're right. Hold it, George. Tell the piano player to hold it. Hold it 1 second, Georgie. So I wrote a song, 9/12, day after 9/11. Now remember, 9/11 is my old neighborhood. I'm born and raised in Midtown Manhattan, about 12 blocks north of where that occurred. And I was in Los Angeles, and all the planes, as you remember, they wouldn't fly. They stopped all the planes from flying. So I was in my hotel room. Couldn't believe what I just saw. So I wrote a poem. And I went home, and I sat down at the piano with my brother, and I wrote a little melody to the poem. And I just thought it would be appropriate, because I'm one of those people who believes that prayers are answered. And so I looked down, and I never saw high school. I'm an 8th grader, dropout. 52 years now in show business. My feet have walked the streets of Pompeii. I've tasted the foods of 32 different cultures. I became friends with the greatest heroes you could ever want to meet in life. And I can call them friends. And one of the things about this country that I love most is that we care about others. And we don't get the credit for it. You know, when there's a disaster, a tsunami, we're the first ones there. And then when there's a hurricane, we're the first ones there, even if it's not our country, if it's some other country, Philippines. And then when there's a problem with hunger, we're there. George W. Bush, Bono, the other day came out and said it was the greatest American gift is what George Bush did for those people in Africa for AIDS. And he doesn't get the credit. And in my opinion, the president's got a rough gig. Look at Obama. I mean, he went from this young dude to an old man up there. Seriously, I mean, it's a tough job. And we kind of expect him to be there every day and do it and get it done. You know, I have a hard time shopping at Ralph's. And I have a hard time getting it done. And these guys get it done. And then I realize our founding fathers, they based this whole country on the belief in God. And I don't, sorry, man, but I trust God. I like in God we trust. So I thought maybe I should write a prayer because I was in that state of mind. So I wrote this song. Keep praying for God's country. It's the home of the brave and the free. Praying for God's country. It's the other holy land to me. Keep praying for Bill of Rights, human rights, apple pies and baseball nights. The Constitution, our institutions, politicians and peaceful solutions. The presidents, their residents, the Capitol, and that's not all. Let freedom ring when they hear us sing this simple melody. Keep praying for God's country. It's the home of the brave and the free. God's country, the other holy land to me. Keep praying for our Declaration of Independence, our radio and our late night shows, our education, your graduation, your anniversaries, and how about those shuttle flights, Mondays, football nights, flying kites. What I want you to do is sing along with me. So keep praying for God's country. It's the home of the brave and the free. God's country, the other holy land to me. Let freedom ring when they hear us sing this simple melody. Keep praying for, oh, it's the home of the brave and the free. God's country, it's the other holy land for you and me. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Neil Diamond song while they're on their feet. Come on and play it up loud. Here we go. Do it. A little louder, a little louder. I want the hands getting red. Do we not live in the greatest planet on the greatest country on this planet Earth? I don't hear you. Well, you put those hands together right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That's good, that's good. Keep doing that and sit. Keep doing that and sit. Keep doing that and sit. That's right. Don't stop now. Make those hands red, white, and blue. Far. We've been traveling far without a home, but not without a star. Yes, and free. We only want to be free. And we huddle close. Hang on to that dream. the boats and on the plane. They come into America, they're never looking back again. They come into America, whoa. It's a new and shiny place. We make our bed and say our grace. Freedom lights burning warm. Freedom lights burning warm. I said home. It's that new and shiny place. We make our bed and say our grace. Freedom lights burning warm. Freedom lights burning warm. God bless you. Go ahead, get it. Perfect. And everywhere around the world, you know they're coming to America. Every time that flag unfurls, you know they look up to America. They have a dream they've come to share. Can you see them coming? They have a dream they've come to share. They're bringing it to America. To America. Oh, our sweet America. There's only one. There's only one. There's only one. My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, of thee I sing. Of thee I sing. Today, one word. Sweet land of liberty. I want you to get ready and say today, you, say it. Say it again. Sweet, sweet America. Oh my, America. You put your life on the line for America. You put your life on the line for us. You put your life on the line for America. We want to thank you so. We want to thank you so. We want to thank you so very, very much. Anybody in this room serving World War II, I want you to stand up on this Independence Day. World War II veteran, if you're here, we got one. We got. You put your life on the line for us. America. You put your life on the line for America. We want to thank him so. Yeah. We want to thank him so. Thank you so very much. How about Korean veteran? Korean veteran, if you're here, stand. Come on, your turn. Come on, hand. You put your life on the line for America. You put your life on the line for us. You put your life on the line for America. Come on, let's thank him all. We want to thank him so. We want to thank him so very, very much. Okay, Nam, on your feet, Vietnam. Come on, I know you're here. I know you're here. Yes, all the way to the back. Get it. You put your life on the line for America. They put their life on the line for us. You put your life on the line for America. Come on, let's thank him so. We gotta thank him so. Come on, let's thank him so very, very much. How about a hand for our veterans who are here? Anybody here from Afghanistan or Iraq? Or if you have members in your family that fought in Desert Storm, or those three, on your feet. Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, on your feet. If you know anybody that served in their name, stand. They put your life on the line for America. They put their life on the line for us. They put their life on the line for They put their life on the line, on the line, on the line, on the line, on the line for America. America, America. Whoa, God bless our sweet, sweet, sweet America. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you. How about a hand for all of our veterans who stood? our non-POWs, and Sandy, thank you for this honor, Sandy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you ever seen a better performance than this? Isn't he phenomenal?
Thank you.
Go
Thank
to
you,
his
Sandy.
go to his website and check out where he's appearing and go hear him in the full show. You won't believe it. It's phenomenal.
Thank you, Sandy.
You honor us with your presence here. Thank you, sir,
Well,
and
Sandy,
thank you for
thank
that
you.
great gold record.
And thank you for-
on behalf of the Nixon Foundation and the Nixon family, please make this your home away from home. Don't stay in Branson. Come here. Okay?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to go have a hot dog with the Boy Scouts. I hope you will too. So we'll be out there in just a few minutes. It's right out by the birthplace. Let's thank him once again and then
Thank
join
you.
us out there.
And Sandy, I don't mind. Well, if you come out there, I don't mind. I don't have a problem with taking pictures, signing autographs, doing whatever it takes. So I'm here for you, okay?